Hi everyone. Happy Sunday. It's November, I think it's the 13th. Yeah, that's it. I had to look at my computer. This is my third video. My name is Jen. And yes, I have MS. It's funny because I said I wasn't going to do these every day, and now I find myself laying in bed and I thinking, oh, I should have said this or I should have said that. It's pretty funny. I think when you first start videotaping yourself in front of one of these webcams, you get really nervous. You feel like you're in front of a crowd of people even though you're like alone in your room. And then after you do the first and second video, you're like, all right, this isn't so bad. I know the quality of these videos really, for lack of better words, sucks. I don't know why. It's the built-in webcam in my PC. So anyway, just have to deal with seeing me on like some kind of blur for whoever these videos is actually reaching. So I wanted to talk about vitamins today. I take a lot of them. I'll show you the bag of vitamins that I have. Huge bag, huge. Everyone laughs at me because of my bag of vitamins, but it really helps me, my bag of vitamins. So I wanted to talk about what vitamins I take that I feel like would help me a lot. And I think that vitamins is one of the many topics we need to touch on when talking about MS and how to live with this fun disease we have. Anyway, the last video was, I don't remember because I have MS. I think the last video was talking about processing the diagnosis because I figured that was a good starting point. This video is going to be about, like, I want to move forward with, what can we actually do to help ourselves? Like, how do we make this better? How do we feel better? How do we feel even a little bit normal again? So we can live our lives and try to do as much as we can do or used to do in the past. So I'm going to start with Diospin. Sounds like a really crazy name. I've heard in the UK you need an actual script for it, but here in the US you can just go to your natural food store and buy it. It's really not that expensive. The spelling is Diosmin. It comes under the title of, in my bottle it says Lovely Lakes, so don't let that throw you off. It's kind of like cardiovascular health and all that good stuff, but I find it really beneficial for circulation. I used to have for years, my feet would swell up, my ankles would swell up, my hands swell up, and it's just like just one big swollen mess, and I could never figure out why until I finally got the diagnosis. But anyway, I started taking this stuff, I guess about a year ago after I was diagnosed, and I'm telling you, within 30 days, I found a huge benefit. The swelling was not happening anymore. It also helped my spasticity, just, that tightness you can feel in your legs and your muscles, because what it does is it gotta love word recall issues with MS. It adds oxygen to your blood, and that's a good thing because we want as much oxygen in our bloods as we can get, and especially up to our brains. So anyway, Diospin, really good stuff. See? You probably can't see the bottle, but anyway. Next one is omega-3s. Everyone's talking about omega-3s. Really good for cardiovascular health, and just overall health. You got to get the purified one, the fish oil. I suggest buying the good one in the natural food store. I have a huge bottle. It's like 15 bucks. Because you want to watch the mercury levels. That's always an issue. And if you buy the cheaper brands in a regular supermarket, you don't want to run the risk of popping some mercury into yourself and worsening conditions. Anyway, I take 2 omega-3s a day. I find that it helps my mood, my anxiety level, and I also find that it seems to help some of my symptoms. Because when I don't take it, I feel the difference. That's kind of how you know with a vitamin. You take it, and then when you stop taking it, you're like, oh, all right, this is hurting, that's hurting. So that's kind of how I figured it out. Anyway, omega-3 really good stuff. I also take B12. I take 2,000 mcg of B12. Natural food store again, because I don't want any additives or sugars or any junk in it. So I buy it at the natural food store. It's only, I think this bottle says 8 bucks for a little one, and it helps with energy. Which is a good thing because a lot of us are fatigued and tired all the time. I know I am. Vitamin D3. This is a big one. I've heard the research I've done, what my neurologist has told me is that all people with MS have huge deficiencies in B12 and vitamin D. And so pretty much as soon as you're diagnosed, you should be either sitting in the sun for 15 minutes or run into the store to get some vitamin D. So I do that every day. Then there's B1 I also have, which is a great one. And then finally is magnesium and calcium, which helps for me. It helps a lot with my leg pain because I do get the pain associated with MS. It's almost like someone's pouring hot boiling water over me. And it also helps with the leg pain and the spasms, the magnesium. I noticed that I used to take it like prior to bedtime until I found the medication that I wanted to take, the MS Med, and it helped a lot with my spasms at night, which can also be a problem for a lot of us. And then there's turmeric. Turmeric's like an herbal thing. It's actually a seasoning, I think. Um, Someone told me, "Oh, you have that in your cabinet." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'd rather buy the pill form than shaking it in my mouth." So turmeric is huge for inflammation, and as we all know, MS is an inflammatory disease. Um, so I take 2 of those a day, which I think is helping me. So I take all these things. I guess the next one we'll talk about diet. I don't know if you want to go there today. Maybe I'll just go there today. It's a short topic. I'm gluten free for the most part. I've been cheating a lot lately, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling a lot more pain, burning at night, and just overall uncomfortable. But when I was diagnosed, I took milk out of my diet right away, and I took breads out. And that really seemed to make a big difference with how I felt. I try to like throw in salmon once a week. It's super expensive though, salmon. So I try to eat the salmon once a week. I stick to salmon, chicken, vegetables, and I do not drink milk. I drink rice milk. So I don't know if anyone's interested in also delving into the dietary end of it, but I think that for us with MS, it is going to have to be a lot of different interventions and a lot of different things we throw into the mix to make ourselves feel better. It's not going to just be one magical thing. It's going to be a lot of different stuff thrown into our daily regimen and just kind of really keeping ourselves at the top health that we can keep ourselves at. So gluten-free is also another good one, along with all these vitamins. And that's it, I guess, for the third video. Try to keep it short and informative. I hope this is reaching some people out there. If anyone has any questions, suggestions, thoughts, besides telling me to get a new webcam because this picture's ridiculous, I'd love to hear them. And I don't know, maybe our next topic we'll do anxiety, because I know anxiety is a huge, huge issue for people with MS. So I hope everyone has a good rest of the weekend. Be well and be happy and take really good care of yourselves.